Hi guys, it's Miss Katie and happy Earth Day. Today is the day where we take a step back and we do something to help the Earth. Because without it, we wouldn't be here. So I'm going to teach you a method of recycling. And what we're going to be doing is making recycled paper. And so what this is made out of is all the scrap papers that I don't need, that I could have thrown in the trash, but I didn't. Because that's recycling. Recycling is where you take something and you reuse it again. Like when you recycle plastic bottles, you can make more bottles. You can make a jacket. You can make jeans. I've seen pencils made out of recycled newspaper. So that's what we're going to focus on today is recycling. And I'm going to show you a way to do that by making recycled paper. So let's go to our first step. All right, so the first thing you need is a bowl. Any size bowl will work. Usually the bigger the bowl, the less water you're going to get everywhere because water is probably our messiest object. But who doesn't like playing with water? So once you have your bowl, you're going to get scrap paper. So scrap paper is just paper that you don't need anymore. And you're going to rip it into as tiny pieces as possible. You can make it a game. See who can make the most smallest pieces ever. And you just keep ripping. It's kind of relaxing because you could take your frustration out on anything. Say your brother ate your favorite piece of chocolate. Frustration gone. Say your hamster ate your curtains. Oh, frustration gone. And it's also kind of like confetti, like you're having a party. Woohoo! Party in the USA. And you just keep ripping. Doesn't matter how many pieces of paper you put in there. The more paper you have, the bigger the piece of paper you're going to make. Also, if you have all white paper, your recycled paper is going to turn out white. But if you add a little color, your paper that you're making will also have a little bit of color. And all you do is you just rip. Some people use a blender, but in this process that I'm going to show you, we're not going to use a blender. So yep. And then you just keep ripping and ripping until you think you have enough. And then we move on to our next step. So once you're done ripping up as much paper as you would like into as itty bitty pieces as possible, you move on to the next step. So this next step, if you have little ones that like to get real messy, I'd advise you to do this part in the sink, or in a bathtub, or outside, because you could get water. It's just water, so it's not harmful or anything, but water can get everywhere. So this is what your bowl should look like. All of your little pieces of paper, all ripped up in your bowl, ready to go. Then you're gonna get water. You're probably wondering, how much water do I put in there? Doesn't matter. You just have to get it wet. So here's our water. I have a cup of water, and you're gonna pour it just till it's all wet. That should be enough. And then you make sure all your paper is wet. And this is where the fun part comes in. This part is where you take both of your hands and you mush it. And you rub it between your fingers to break it up into little itty bitty pieces of paper. Your end result should look like porridge. So this is where you get messy. It's just water and paper. And then you just squish it and tear it with your fingers. And you keep it in the water. And you keep doing that until your paper looks like oatmeal or porridge. So like I said, all you do is you work it. You rub it between your fingers, you break it up, and you get it all soggy and mushy. And that brings us to our next step. Our next step is where you're going to get all the water out of this paper. So like I said, you should probably do it outside, on a table where it's easy to clean up, in the bathtub, because this part is you're pressing out all this water so you can make this flat piece of paper. You're going to need a lot of paper towels. Now in the actual, if you want to be very precise, people have screens where they put it on top of a bucket and you put your water there and you push it and the water seeps through and back into the bucket. But we're not that fancy. So I'm going to show you the easy way. So you're going to need a paper towel. And then you're going to scoop out and plop it down. And see, there's a lot of water because we put a good bit of water in here. And we're trying to get it all out. Now, you probably have better paper towels than I do. But any paper towel does the job eventually. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't buy it. All right. So there's still going to be some little pieces in here that you're probably not going to be able to get out because they're kind of just disintegrating. But you're going to try to get out as much as possible. And the more paper you have, the bigger your blob's going to be. And then you're going to kind of form it into, well, you can make it into any shape. You can make it into a heart. You can make it into a triangle. But our thought is we're going to make it into a rectangle. So you're going to try to form it into that shape as much as possible. And as you can see, my paper towel is soaking wet. But that's okay, because that's what we want. So once you get it into the kind of shape you want it, you're going to get more paper towels. And you're going to set it on top. And you're going to press down. And as you can see, there's a lot of water. And you're pressing out all of this water. Our paper looks really pretty with the white and the pink in it. And then you lift it and you pitch that to the side because we don't need it. And you keep repeating this process until you pretty much have all the water out. It's still going to be damp. It takes about a day for your paper to officially be dry completely through. But right now in this process, you want to get out all of that excess water or the extra water. You keep pushing it until you don't hear the squishy sound, which is just water pushing out of the paper. And another reason why you're pushing down is because you're compressing all of that paper to stick together to form another sheet of paper. Now it's not going to look nice and smooth as an actual piece of paper because this is made in a factory and they have better machinery than we do. But you're going to make a flat piece of paper, and that's really impressive. So like I said, you keep pushing and pushing until you don't hear that squishy sound. And then this is the fun part. You're going to flip it, or try to anyway. So you have to be very, very slow because you could rip your paper. And you flip it over, and you slowly is where you have the most trouble. Ta-da! There's our piece of paper, and you can fix it. You just push it back together because the moment that it's officially set is when it's 100%, well, when it starts to dry, and right now it's just wet. So this is the stage where you squish your paper together to form your paper. And then you can take more paper towels and just dab. Just dab to get that extra water off and also push it down. And then you leave it there for a day. And then when you come back, you'll have a dry piece of paper that looks like this, but with more color. Now I'm going to show you the things you can do with this cool recycled paper that you just made. This is the fun part. This is where you take your paper and do what you do on paper. You draw or you write. Now, if you want to get that good rectangle shape, you can take scissors and you can cut because it's just paper. So you can do anything you want to it. So if you want a straight edge, if you want to keep that rim, and you can write on this side, the bumpy side, or the flat side, which is where you're pushing it down onto the table. So you can write on it. So like you could draw. You can draw on it. You can color it. You could do anything with this that you can do with any regular sheet of paper because it's just paper that you recycled. And markers look fantastic on it. And there you have it, your own recycled piece of paper. Perfect for Earth Day. So now go out and do something great for the Earth. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Have a good day, and if not, make it a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!